Hello, friends. This is Pigeon. I am here in the unsundered world with Kukushu sitting atop my back. I hope your day is going well. And yeah, we're going to start side questing now. And I'm not going to do the whole session in character of Pigeon, but yeah. So we're going to continue with the side quests, and going to start with the minion thing because I've been enjoying that. Komenu. Is this a Stormblood thing? I don't remember Komenu at all. It's a cute little, like one of those Chinese lions. Komenu. Believed to ward the places from intruders with evil intent. From intruders with evil intent, statues of these mythical lion dog creatures are oft erected at the gates of sacred locations such as shrines. When paired with another, they will always face forward. When paired with another, they will always face forward? I don't know what that means. Like, well, anyway. Bright as a lamp, brave as a lion, Herr Maga. Again, all these characters who must have been, like, side quest characters or just smaller characters that, yeah, I'll say I'm glad I'm looking at these things more as I go, because in the past I don't remember, it's been so long. Serene Observer. Or need to relax. A rather serene observer looks at you with more than a hint of concern. A familiar and all alone, I see. And look at how thin you are. What do you mean? I was just fed in the last quest. If your remaining ether were to be exhausted, you'd simply fade from existence. And we wouldn't want that now, would we? I suggest you visit the Morning Dew. You'll find the winds blowing in from Lethe most invigorating. Perhaps while you're there... Oh, Lethe! Okay. So that's what Lethe is. So the winds from Lethe, I guess Lethe is one of the other islands. Because I really thought, because Lethe is like a real place or a mythology, I mean, it's a place in like Greek mythology at least, the river Lethe. I think it's the river of, I don't remember if it's memory or forgetfulness. I thought Styx was forgetfulness, but I thought Lethe was also forgetfulness. I don't remember. Lethe is some mythological river at least. And that's what Sappho, who my friend Rack has confirmed, those were not her actual poems, but yeah, neat that she's a poet. Yeah, so the River Lethe was, just something in diegetic. Okay. Perhaps while you are there, you might seek out a friend of mine and invite him to share a meal with me, if it's not too much to ask, that is. No, I'm fine. This is like passing notes in class to. Can you ask this person out for me? Yeah, sure. I've just been wondering, and I don't answer this because I'm sure I'll see it in game, but I wonder if we'll get any triple triad games in this world. Wouldn't that be amazing if we found like that triple triad was just like the oldest card game possible, and it started even now? Carefree Observer. What brings you here, oh friendly familiar? Oh, time for a meal, you say? Yes, quite right. Thank you for reminding me. Still, a few more moments can't hurt, surely. I dare say you've noticed how refreshing it is to even stand in this idyllic place. The air itself is permeated with rich ether, and the fine droplets from Lethe ease the aches from a hard day's work. Try a nice big stretch. You won't regret it. Okay. And I think there's only one stretch. There's not like, there's not like the Manderville stretch to try, so this should be more straightforward than the dance quest. Stretch. That looks satisfying. Carefree Observer. See what I mean? The wind through the leaves, the waterfall's soothing spray. Oh, that must be the Lethe. The waterfall must be, the Lethe must be that river. Of course it's a river. There's nothing quite like it. In our busy day-to-day lives, it's all too easy to forget to look after ourselves. Naturally, that includes familiars. Speaking of which, I'd best get something to eat, so, as you so kindly came here to tell me. As you seem new to these parts, my friend will probably be wondering whether you've lost your way. Go and put his mind at ease, would you? Okay. Do a nice big stretch near the Carefree Observer. Nice big stretch achieved. Serene Observer, I've done as you asked. Here to report on your successful completion of the favor I asked of you. How very dutiful of you. Would I be correct in guessing your little jaunt has paid dividends? No need to tell me. I can see you're practically bursting with vim and vigor. Why, even I feel better just looking at you, and I've done nothing but stand here the entire time. Then why didn't you go to find your dinner companion? Okay, let's do this southernmost quest next. Labors of my fruit? This nice little flip around on that phrase. Pompous creator. The creator recognizes you, or does he? Ozhem, what in the blazes are you doing here? Hold on, you seem thinner somehow. Yeah, thinner and like a fraction of my height. Unless maybe you're like, maybe you're blind. Maybe you're like, or not fully blind, but maybe you're like Ishtola, where you can only see ether. You have much in common with her, but it's clear you're not one of us. A familiar, perhaps? Sure, why not? Let's go with that. I suppose it's just like her to send one of her minions to poke its nose into our affairs. But since you're here instead of hanging out around like a bad smell, since you're here instead of hanging around like a bad smell, why don't you make yourself useful? Pigeon, you can hang around as much as you want. Okay. I want you to take this latest work of mine, a new variety of fruit, to my colleagues. In the meantime, I will be cultivating my personality as the world's greatest asshole, and I'll also be cultivating more specimens in the chthonic horns. Or thonic horns? Thonic horns. Yes, you heard that correctly. Cultivating, not simply conjuring with creation magics. The fruit I produce is a labor of love. Now that my newest masterpiece is close to completion, I would have my fellow researchers sample its delights. I wish to hear their impressions before I make the final adjustments. Unfortunately for all their wisdom, I find them intolerable at the best of times, never mind when they are critiquing my work. For that reason, I would have you go in my stead, and be quick about it, lest the fruit spoil as a result of your dawdling. You've never been given food that wasn't spit on, have you? Never once in your life. Kindly observer. You don't deserve to be... If you're kindly at all, you don't deserve... I'm sorry you have to spend any time with that jerk face. Are you lost, little familiar? Nameless red fruit. If the pungent aroma is any indication, this fruit is likely to provide a unique, if not especially pleasant, culinary experience. Uh-oh. For me, why, yes, I would love to try a piece. I don't mean to be rude, but this falls somewhere between rather foul and positively revolting. It's so bitter, it's practically inedible. Bitter? A bitter fruit? Because I know tart fruits. Is that what they meant? More importantly, however, is the question of whether this fruit would serve its intended function. If wild animals cannot bring themselves to eat it, the seeds will never be spread. I can't imagine this creation being approved in its current state. I mean, they're... like, dog kibble is nothing that I would enjoy, but it seems to do pretty well among the dogs, so maybe it's good for some animals? Calm observer. You wish to speak with me? Yeah, have some of this horrific, vile fruit to taint your mouth. My impressions? Very well. Oh, good gracious, what is this? It's so outrageously bitter, something akin to a wave of icy cold has spread throughout my entire body. Holy shit, are you okay? I certainly wouldn't eat this out of choice, but it could be made into medicine for staving off the heat in arid environments. Oh. That's kind of interesting, okay. Might be worthwhile. Also, neat that, I was wondering where this is from, where this creature was from, and Rack has told me that it's from the Tempest. I haven't spent... Do you want to see how much time I've spent in the Tempest? Wait. Hold on. This is a different one. This is like a humanoid version of that. The one we saw before was like... was like non-humanoid. This is like a full-on person. Super interesting. Okay. I was going to say, I think for if I look under Shared Fate, under the Tempest, I've spent like... Yeah, I've done like the initial 6 fates, and that's about it. Everywhere else is at least in the, at least in the 20s of rank 2. Oh, you're right here. Sensitive observer. You're the familiar who arrived with Emet-Selch and Hythlodaeus, yes? And what do we have here? Brace yourself, my friend. A new species of fruit, eh? Let us hope it tastes better than it looks. It does not. My word! What an unusual flavor! Equal parts bitter, musty, and tart, not entirely unpleasant. I am curious to know how such a thing was created. Grown from seed in the chthonic horns, you say? In my experience, leaving such things to nature leads to wildly varying results. To have bred such a specimen must have been incredibly time-consuming, not to mention inefficient. I don't know if that's... I think that's not a compliment in this particular world. But it also might be. I mean, it sounds like the pompous jerk-face didn't do a terrible job in making a fruit. He just... It has a unique flavor, one that isn't unpleasant to literally everyone, and might be a medicine in hot places. Pompous creator. You are returned, minus 3 fruit samples, I presume. Oh, is that so? Not one of them found it to their liking. They claim my last attempt was too sweet, and now it's too bitter. Honestly, the nerve of these so-called experts. It's almost as if they want it to be neither too sweet nor too bitter. As they shall soon learn, I am not so easily deterred. For my next creation, I'll cross-pollinate sweet and sour varieties and see what they have to say about that. I'll show them these wildly varying results that come from adherence to natural processes that have the power to defy expectations. And as the familiar of Ozem yourself, I'm sure you can appreciate that. Yeah, that last line is especially interesting, just because it keeps building up this idea of Ozem as this sort of, not necessarily, super powerful, because one of the convocation, but to the extent that she is powerful, but also in a way that sounds like it's flighty and kind of, lol random and a little bit chaotic. Make better fruit. Okay, let's head up north. Phadius. Nothing to sneeze at. There's nothing quite like a good sneeze, as Phadius will attest. What? I guess sneezing feels kind of good sometimes. Phadius, a familiar has come to observe us. Observe us observers, are you? A familiar come to observe us observers, are you? By what are you called? Kukushu. Kukushu, you say? 'Tis a fine name. I'm Phadius, a researcher here at Ananoresis. We are currently preparing a section of this isle for a new creation. For this, we need to expel those creatures that inhabit said areas, that they'll not interfere with our tests. The simplest way to do so is by having the Ampelos sneeze. The explosive noise never... I forgot what the Ampelos is. Is the Ampelos the, It's got to be the... I mean, there's only one monster that's known for its sneezes. It's got to be the goobue. The explosive noise never fails to send critters fleeing. We are just about to tend to this task, but seeing as you're here, how would you like to give it a try? I would love to give it a try. Yes, please. I knew you'd be keen. To look at you, 'tis plain you are an inquisitive sort of familiar. Now then, my Beastkeeper catalog is already on site to the northeast of here. My Beastkeeper colleague. Seek him out, and he will tell you what to do. I am multitasking right now, just as an FYI. I am playing the game with my hands and eyes, and I am petting the cat with my right foot. Am I doing a good job petting the cat? Thank you. Ananoresis Beastkeeper. Look at the little laurel crown the goobue has. He's supposed to be here by now, but who might you be? I am here to play with the goobue. Oh, you're clearing the site in Phadius' stead. How very kind of you. Come then, let's get you on the Ampelos. Oh my god, it has little laurel leaf bracelets too! It's decked out. Once you're securely mounted, ride in yonder and have it sneeze at the bushes. The noise will scare whatever creatures may be hiding. Oh, look at that little sneeze. A big sneeze. Discharges a shower of lukewarm spittle onto an unfortunate target. Oh, I was hoping to do it to the Beastkeeper. Alas. Alright, here we go. Big sneeze time. Sound is so gross. The Ampelos's mighty sneeze sends the creatures in the bush scattering in panic. Did it. A Nanoresis Beastkeeper. The creatures came running all the way here. Frightened as they looked, I dare say they'll keep away from the site for a good while. For its hard work, I shall treat the Ampelos to a spot of sunbathing. Meanwhile, you should return to Phadius. I'm certain he will have a reward for you, too. You deserve all the sunbathing you want, Ampelos. Ampelos goobue. Phadius. Welcome back, Kakushu. Thanks to you, the site has been nicely cleared and we can release our new creation. It's a species of... Oh, no, never mind. It's a species of ambulatory plant, lest you wonder. While these have been popular of late, this one dwarfs the rest. A veritable tree that can use its hands like branches. Its branches like hands to catch prey. It sets my heart aflutter just thinking about it. My thanks again, and if there are any other exciting tasks, I'll be certain to let you know. You've made treants. Enjoy. Treants are kind of cool. Just stay away from Malboros. We got second guest. Like second best? Eurydice. Eurydice has a cure for your unique charms. Has a use for your unique charms. Oh my, aren't you adorable? Actually, there's something you might be able to help me with. A visitor from the Bureau of the Architect has arrived at Propylaeon to deliver new concepts. I would like you to offer her the warmest of welcomes. Normally we'd have our own familiars attend to such duties, but most of them are already entertaining other guests. There's been rather a lot lately, you see. Really? Unusually high number? I wonder why. On the other hand, this would be the perfect opportunity to show her an entirely new and, what's a nice way to put this, idiosyncratic familiar. Thank you. I know you. I'm sure you tried. That being you, of course. I'm sure she'd be delighted to meet you. Okay. Where is this? Wait, actually, where is it? Oh, over there. Here we are. Bureau of the Architect Envoy. What do you have to say, Helonicus? Oh, lost familiar. Okay. Bureau of the Architect Envoy. What a pleasant surprise. You must be one of the most eminently polite, eminently portable familiars I've ever seen. That's got to be a Lalafell-specific line. Eurydice has chosen her representative well. It would appear. As a matter of fact, I too have an errand to ask of you, namely the delivery of these concepts. I have brought them all the way from the Academia and the Aether. 3 aquatic fauna specimens from the words of Metron, and 1 flora sample from the words of Halmarut. All very fascinating, as my counterparts here will soon discover. It would also be prudent to remind Eurydice not to let their captivating nature distract her from making her observations. What kind of creatures are these? Well then, there's no time like the present. What kind of captivating nature do they have? Eurydice. I trust our guest was as enamored with you as I am. Yeah, they did great. Crystallized concepts, 4 of them. As if to confirm your suspicion that crystals are at the center of every facet of existence, this pattern from which life is conjured has also been wrought of crystal. Enjoy and apparently don't get too, hypnotized by them. New concepts for us, and fascinating to the point of being distracting. What an odd thing to warn me about, though it all does sound rather intriguing. The Academia Aether always produces concepts of the most outstanding quality, and I'm eager to learn what treats we have in store on this occasion. Let me see. From the word of Metron, we have what seems to be An aquatic mollusk capable of storing ether in its shell. Is that going to be like the lightning bugs that were in the Tempest and in Final Fantasy VI? Maybe. I can only guess what purpose that would serve, but I dare say all will become abundantly clear in due course. Oh, I do apologize. I already find myself mesmerized by these concepts, just as our visitors predicted. For your part in bringing me these wonders, you have my thanks. And this proto-money. And we'll meet again. Alright, Blast. We'll meet again. Blast's fraught expression is in stark contrast to the tranquil surroundings. Ah, we meet again. The familiar who was with Carmian, yes? My apologies if I seem a little distracted, but I'm actually in the midst of searching for someone. It's my mentor, who taught me practically everything I know. Now she has relinquished her role and is ready to make her final journey. So the final journey thing doesn't sound like it's all that uncommon. For all that Emmett Selk talked about how everyone lived basically forever, this is like the third or fourth person, and we haven't met that many people, who are like on their way to their final journey. So this is like all in the span of a couple days, so it's got to be not that uncommon to make your final journey. Before she does, there's an important matter I must convey to her. The last concept in her care, a beautiful winged creature, has been approved for life on Aetheris. Oh, this has got to be the culmination of a major project for this person. Please, will you help me look for her? There's a strong chance you'll find her at Philomethes Notos. Her most distinguishing feature is her chestnut-colored hair, tied into a single flowing lock, much like a monoceros's tail. Alright, so where... Down there. Don't return to the star just yet. We got some good news for you, chestnut-haired researcher. You wish to speak with me? I do. Ah, yes. Well said. I had a feeling she might say that. As I have told her, my decision has been made. But what about that winged creature was a success? I guess maybe she wasn't relying on this. Maybe it's just, if it works, excellent. If not, I did my best. Glad tidings, to be certain, but my work is done. This news was more than sufficient, and I thank you for it. Nothing could deter me from my chosen course, and I must join my predecessors in the hereafter. Tell Bleste to name the creature as she pleases, and that I wish her every happiness. Now our brief encounter has reached its end. Farewell. Enjoy being with your predecessors. Balaste. She's not with you. Did you at least find her? I did. And yeah, she was pretty set. I should have known nothing would sway her. All I can do is hope she finds blessed respite in the ethereal sea, and that we may one day be reunited in another life. Until then, I will carry on her legacy, beginning with the naming of the creature she cared for so dearly. I think I shall name it after her. That way, she will live on through her work forever. Is this going to be... This is going to be something where she'll be like, and her name was Marlborough. Like, because she didn't tell us her name. I think that's going to be a reveal. No, it's not going to be a reveal. You're leaving me hanging. Oh my god. No, tell me her name. Okay. Alright, we got a little bit of time left. Let's continue with the main story quest. Medion. All the creations are very happy. That makes me happy too. Hythlodaeus. I thoroughly enjoyed myself, at the end most of all. Emmett Selk. Grump, grump, grump. Literally, I'm tired, leave me be. Hermes. Ether to ether. Something seems to be weighing on Hermes' mind. What's the problem, old chap? Tell me, Kakushu, in the course of watching me, have you learned aught of value? I have. Dynamis seemed promising. Not sure what I'm looking for, but I don't think I found it. Dynamis seemed promising. seem promising. Dynamis, you say? Curious that such an obscure phenomenon should be of interest to you. It was of interest, especially if my theory about the blasphemies back home was right. Seasoned observer. Chief Hermes, what good fortune to find you here. Hermes. Is something the matter? Seasoned observer. The Lykaon, I'm afraid it's done it again. No sooner did we release one for observation than it set upon the nearby occupates, slaughtering them. Was the creature hungry or somehow provoked? Seasoned observer. I had just fed them myself, and I keep wanting to say eucalyptus, but the occupates were keeping a wide berth. It is the nature of the Lykaon that is to blame, their innate viciousness. Temperament aside, it's an outstanding creation, perfect in form and function. Though it may not be suited for release, I have no doubt that the Bureau will accept its concept for preservation. Hermes is not going to like that. In any case, no point in postponing the inevitable. Doros will revert them all once the paperwork is in order. Yep, just some casual euthanasia. Hermes. Where is the scene of the incident? Yeah, he's not going to like this at all. Not because it's a defense to him, but I think because he cares about the things that exist in existence. Seasoned observer, just off the path to the 12 Wonders. As you make your way, you should see it on the left. I don't know if Doros is still there, however. Medion, Hermes, wait! Yeah, she probably senses that he's not in a great mindset right now. Emetzelk. If this is part of his work, then I would observe. We follow. And we know that in the end he gets accepted, so even if what he does meets with Emetzelk's disapproval, like, we know that he'll end up accepted. So those are the, oh, Goran Gotch, I don't know what that is. Maybe that's the thing they were talking about. But yeah, the birds of prey have just been slaughtered here. The birds of prey, the birds of Elpis. Emetzelk. A fearsome beast, this Lykaon, but where is it now? Medion. It's heavy. Hermes' pain. I keep thinking about something that that Azomagia mentioned in the comments a little bit ago, that, yeah, she just really can't turn this off. She's just always feeling empathy, and that's got to be, especially in moments like that, without any ability to really filter it, that's got to be a lot to deal with. Hythlodaeus. The occupite is no easy prey. With its hooves and horns, it was designed to be formidable even on land. Yet they didn't stand a chance against the Lykaon. Oh wait, maybe this isn't a bird of Elpis. Maybe it is? No, I think it is. Hermes. The lacerations and burns are unmistakable. A Lykaon was indeed responsible. Lacerations and burns. Is it a chimera? But the creature is nowhere to be seen. Doros must have taken it away. The man makes his base at the 12 Wonders. I shall go and seek him out there. Emetzelk and Hythlodaeus. Emetzelk and I will search the area for good measure, just to make sure the Lykaon did not escape. Because Hermes doesn't just feel for the Lykaon, though. He does feel for the creatures that it killed as well. My thanks. Let us meet at the 12 Wonders when you have finished. I will go on ahead. Please follow with Kakushu. Medion. Come, it's down this path and over the bridge. I don't intend to make her sound like Jiminy Cricket, but I think I may have accidentally made her sound like Jiminy Cricket. Alright, we're crossing the bridge, heading to a new island. And this looks like a big one. The 12 Wonders. That's the name of the island. So, never mind. So, this is... I couldn't quite tell whether that was a bird of Elpis, or whether that was one of these hippogriff things. Medion. There it is, the 12 Wonders. Hermes is looking for Doros. Let's look for Doros too. He's a man with long blonde hair, I think. I'll know him when I see him. Medion's now... okay. Medion, tell me about this place, because look at this thing. Hey, doesn't this remind you of that boss room in... I don't remember where it was. There was some boss room that we fought in that had... like, it was against one of those giant Marlboro conglomerations with, like, a band of platform here and this sort of type of flower beds all around it. Was that one of the academias? Beyond. What an enchanting familiar. I would be delighted to assist in your little journey of discovery and personal growth. Oh my god, I'm like, they see me as like alpha. You know what, I'll take it. What do you do here? My role is to maintain the wonders and thus the climate across Elpis. Oh, this is like the climate center. I ensure that our every environment meets the needs of our flora, fauna, and staff, of course. Environs representing each part of Aetheris are recreated here in Elpis, that we might gain a robust understanding of our concept's potential. As such, maintaining the appropriate balance region by region is tricky work, but more than worth the effort. What kind of place is this? Yeah. The 12 Wonders is the wellspring of Elpis's weather after a fashion. Right, so Elpis, not all of Aetheris. Here do we employ the latest spellcraft from Amarot to... Do you pronounce the T? Is it Amarot or Amaro? Amarot, to maintain and adjust the assorted climes through which our creatures frolic, for test purposes. Our creations frolic. Naturally, as in any other part of Elpis, we also observe and experiment with said concepts. This conversation being perhaps one such experiment. That's unnerving. Okay, blonde-haired woman. If you're with Meteon, then... Excuse me. If you're with Medion, then I assume you're on an errand for Hermes. What can I do for you? Sorry, wrong person. We're looking for Doros. Ah, I see. We do have similar hair, so people often mistake us from afar. I hope you find him soon. So, a lot of these are fakes then. Is there a... Let me see if I can find the description of... find Medion's description. Long blonde... A man with long blonde hair. Blonde-haired man, it's not really long hair. Let's keep looking. No, it could be considered long hair. Let's check him out. Medion. Doros! That's Doros! Blonde-haired man. Well now, if it isn't Medion, what brings you here? Hermes. Ah, I heard familiar voices. I didn't realize you two had decided to help me search for Doros. Thank you. You're welcome. You're in charge of the Lykaones, right? I believe. Lykaones. Of the Lykaones, I believe. Where are they now? Doros. Out in the fields and restraints. Frenzied as they were, I couldn't well return them to Ctesis. Once I've submitted my report, I'll see them reverted without delay. I don't think that's what he's asking you to do. Hythlodaeus. It's as he says. The beasts are indeed quite ferocious. Doros. You're one of the 14. What brings you here? Amitselk. Nothing you need to concern yourself with, as you were. Hermes. We've heard the news that a Lykaon slaughtered Occupetes. As the observer in charge, you are of the opinion they are not fit to be released? Doros. Aye, I am. Their abnormal aggression and exceptional strength makes for a highly problematic combination. It matters not where they are released. Lykaones would threaten other species and upset the natural order. Hermes. Could it be that the specimens observed are an outlier? Yeah, no, it sounds like it's just their nature. Doros. Highly unlikely. We've created a good many of them, all exhibited the same tendencies. Even when we used Kairos to begin with a fresh slate, their behavior was unchanged. Emetzelk, Kairos. Doros, a memory reconfiguration system. The chief himself created it. Oh, neat. Doros, it allows us to erase or alter memories. That way we may observe creations in different environmental conditions without needing to remake them from scratch. Emetzelk, quite impressive and potentially quite dangerous. Depending on the intensity of the etheric emissions, Pashtarot may wish to have words with you. Hermes doesn't sound like he's all that fussed. Rest assured, I've kept all values within prescribed limits, and to prevent misuse, its applications are limited to those authorized by the Chief Overseer. This feels a little bit like Chekhov's gun right now. Like this feels like this is going to come up at some point. Do not misunderstand. Like in the main story, it feels like this memory thing is going to come up again, but maybe not. Do not misunderstand. To manipulate a subject's memories is an intrusive act I deeply abhor, but it is still preferable to execution. Doros, come now, Chief. Let's not be so melodramatic. What was born of Aether is simply being reduced to its original state. Isn't that like everyone? I know the distinctions concern you, but we mustn't lose sight of the bigger picture, making rational choices for the sake of a prosperous star. If a creation cannot be properly studied, even with the aid of Kairos, we make it. If a creation is deemed a detrimental existence, we unmake it. 'Tis all for the greater good, and none question the necessity of such routine processes. Hermes, I understand these things, I do. I would never think to unleash a clear and undeniable threat unto the world. Yet insignificant though their individual lives may be next to all creation, it is all the Lykaones have. Before we seal their fates, we owe it to these beings to exhaust all options, to ensure that nothing has been overlooked. Doros, if you insist, let me provide you with a full report and we may take it from there. Hythlodaeus, would it be possible for us to attend the discussion, that Emetzelk may better carry out his duties? Hermes, by all means. Pray, show them to the meeting room. Interesting. Yeah, his zest for life is not zest for life, but his care for the living. It's not like he's a party dude or anything. Though he does like his candied apples. Or caramel apples, I don't remember which he likes. Hermes. We have a duty to the star, this I know, but it doesn't mean we don't also have a responsibility to the lives we bring into existence here. I think that's a good quality in a person. I don't know if it's a great quality in an ancient observer. Medion. Or whatever his role is here. To man, other beings are just things to be used and controlled, like magic. That's what Hermes told me once. His later incarnation certainly lived up to that. So, this is where I'm going to leave off for today. Komeno and I wish you a good evening or good day, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. See you later. Bye-bye.